Jack Hanma was determined to challenge Musashi Miyamoto, no matter the cost. He endured the brutal agony of breaking his own tibia and femur, undergoing a cruel heightening surgery just to become stronger and more formidable. Weighing in at 201 kilograms and standing a towering 2.43 meters tall, Jack firmly believed that sheer size and physical dominance could crush any opponent. This was the absolute limit of his physique. Any larger, and he would lose the mobility and athleticism needed to fight. Eager to clash with Musashi in a fight to the death, Jack pressed Tokugawa to arrange the match without delay. But Tokugawa gave him a harsh ultimatum. If he wanted to face Musashi, he had to defeat Moto Aizu first. And this battle would not take place in a regulated arena, but in a dim, quiet park under the cover of night. The two men met soon after on a narrow park path. Arrogant and unyielding, Jack told Moto he could wield any weapon he pleased, only then would the fight be fair. In his eyes, no sooner had the words left his mouth than Moto tossed aside the half-smoked cigarette in his hand, flinging the burning stub directly at Jack's face. He followed it with a ruthless surprise attack, catching Jack off guard instantly. Jack winced, touching his scalded eye, and began to peel off his coat, ready to take the fight seriously. But before he could even finish removing his jacket, Moto, who cared nothing for martial honor, launched another ferocious assault. He struck Jack's calf swiftly with a wooden sword in a sneak attack, then slammed the blade straight into Jack's face, sending the giant crashing to his knees, unable to rise. Smug and mocking, Moto sneered at Jack, calling him a fool for thinking his size and height let him act with impunity. But at that moment, Jack let out a sinister, confident grin. Defying all logic, he used nothing but the grip of his toes to hoist his massive 200-plus kilogram body off the ground. With a violent burst of strength, he tore his coat to shreds, his muscles tensed and ready for battle. From that point on, Jack dared not underestimate his foe. In his eyes, Moto was now a true martial artist, ruthless and cunning, not to be trifled with. He lifted his leg high, aiming a devastating kick straight at Moto's head, only to end up injuring himself. Moto's blade had sunk deep into Jack's foot, piercing flesh and bone with brutal precision. Cornered and desperate, Jack opened his jaws wide, clamping down hard on Moto's shoulder. Normally, Jack could crush solid bones with his teeth, but now he couldn't even tear through Moto's flesh. Worse, when he strained harder, all his steel-sharp teeth shattered to pieces in his mouth. It was then that Jack realized Moto wore a custom-made suit engineered to counter him. Crafted from aramid fiber, a super-strong material used to reinforce aircraft, make paragliders, heavy-duty ropes, and radial tires, the fabric was bulletproof and blade-resistant, impervious to nearly all attacks. Jack had now lost both his prized steel teeth and his ability to fight properly with his left foot, rendered useless by the blade wound. He looked like a frail old woman who couldn't even eat properly, stripped of his greatest weapons. But a lion was still a lion, even without its fangs. A bear remained a bear, even with broken claws. Consumed by rage, Jack slammed Moto against a tree canopy and pounded him relentlessly with fists, leaving Moto unable to fight back. In a last-ditch move, Moto pulled out a stick of dynamite and detonated it. Yet Jack didn't stop his assault. He was so focused on throwing punches that he didn't even feel the explosion. Moto couldn't help but praise him, admitting he was a born fighter and that he'd underestimated the giant. Without hesitation, Moto flung a chain to bind Jack's body, restricting his movements, then landed a crushing blow to Jack's head. With Jack dazed and disoriented, Moto pinned him firmly to the ground, wrapping rope tightly around him to bind him completely. He tossed a small knife into the dirt right in front of Jack's face, a silent declaration of his victory. As he walked away, he even sneered that only he could protect everyone from the likes of Musashi.